Well, good afternoon, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you all are having a great Taco Tuesday, and I'm here drinking black coffee. I got popsicles that I can have today if I'm not fasting completely, because I'm getting ready to have the shit fest. So I've got an interesting point here, and now you guys can agree or disagree with me on this, but I think Dak Prescott is coming back in vogue. Here's where, and the reason I say this, because people always keep saying, well, the quarterback's got to run. The new age of the quarterback is a guy who's got to be able to run the football. Without him being able to run the football, you're taking away one of the big weapons that teams have. Okay, I understand your points on that. That is a point that you can take, but I'm going to dare say that maybe it's not necessarily the best thing to do. Now, here's the thing. If you can't run, you got to be able to pass your ass off. And right now you got Dak Prescott being able to pass his ass off. That's not saying that he's not actually run some today, to this point this season. He recognizes that last year he was trying to be a straight pocket quarterback, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the season, we're going to start running, and that's when the hamstring game. So he's finding a delicate balance. Now, here's where it's interesting is we got all these young guns out here that are running that are getting hurt right now. So when you think about Jaden Daniels, who, is going to be probably not decided until maybe Thursday or Friday with a sprained knee, just being able to play versus being completely healthy are two different things. You're taking that weapon away from him if he isn't able to run and isn't 100%. You look at a guy like J.J. McCarthy, who's going to be out now, 3 to 5 weeks or something like that with his hurt leg, and so on as we go down the list of this. And are you better off having a dual threat quarterback? Now, Jalen Hurts is the ultimate one right now because Lord knows he's not passing the football, but he's winning games with his legs without a doubt. I mean, he's only thrown 250 yards so far in 2 games. I think he had 101 yards passing. I don't think he had 18 passes this past week. Clearly, he's got to run. And you got Lamar Jackson, who is one that can hold up. But a lot of these quarterbacks, and when I look at Jalen Daniels, he's not that big a guy. And the hits that they're taking, and even Pat Mahomes, you can't make a season taking these hits. So it's one, if you're going to run, you got to be able to run the right way where you're not taking these shots and learning how to slide. And 2, you can't make it a career of doing this. This is like being Marion Barber. Yeah, I can run over people for so long. I want to go to ESPN here because they're talking about, like, for example, Joe Burrow. Is he the next Andrew Luck, that the injuries shorten the career? Let's go to the tape.
When their head coach saying it's unclear if he's going to be available for this week's game. Obviously, he's going to want to play. They're going to want to be careful with him. I think this is a situation where you have to see what, if anything, he's able to do at practice.
Try not to get copyrighted.
Goes on, and they will make this decision probably as late.
Can't
as
take
Friday
hits like that.
Saturday.
Can't take hits like that.
Marcus Mariota would start if Jaden Daniels cannot. And in Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy hurt his ankle in Sunday night's game against Atlanta. His head coach, Kevin O'Connell, says he's not going to be available this week. We're being told he's out between 2 and 4 weeks. This is interesting. You look at their schedule. Week 4, they're in Dublin, and then they're staying over there and playing Week 5 in London, and then they have a bye in Week 6. So if he's on the high end of this timetable, we might not see him again until Week 7. That's entirely possible. So, yeah, rough start to the season here, as you see with these quarterback injuries. Justin Fields, that's concussion protocol. We all know how that works. Maybe he can play this week, maybe not, has to clear all the steps. And then Brock Purdy could be back this week, but they got Mac Jones, so they're fine. And Joe Burrow is the big news of yesterday. Of all these, the one positive I will say, of all these, the Burrow one is the only one that feels like a long-term injury, whereas the rest of these guys should be back pretty soon.
Yes, and yet. I mean, it is, here
it's
we
not
are.
Great. No,
These are overwhelmingly the most important people in the sport, whether everyone else wants to hear it or not. These are the people that we tune in to watch. These are the people who make these games exciting. If this was a Broadway show, they're the ones whose names would come above the title. They just would. And we are 2 weeks into the season, and 15% of the teams have lost their quarterbacks already. Jeff Saturday, you have an interesting theory as to why, at least one reason this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the extend the play mentality that has overtaken the league, and it's super exciting. When you think about how, these guys can scramble around, make plays, and do all these things. I remember transitioning from Peyton Manning with Tom Moore, and it was 1, 2, 3, throw it away, right? Otherwise, you get carried off boots first. Get rid of the football. I go to Green Bay with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, and it's hold up, let some receiver, make a play down the field, and then bomb the thing down there. Well, inherently there's risk in that because you're getting hit a lot. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning knew how to lay down and live to play the next play. These young guys are not doing that. And when you get hit that much, and this isn't every case, but in a large majority, these plays, they tally up. It's not just one, it's the multiple these guys are getting hit.
And the Jaden Daniels clip that we just saw is a reminder that staying healthy is also a skill.
Yeah.
Like some of these players find a way to, you're going to scramble. The modern game, there aren't very many quarterbacks in the game that are not athletes anymore. It's going to happen.
Play right there.
Yeah, he does that so often. As someone who watches the Commanders often being in D.C., and anyone who watches him at LSU, he has like a propensity to find those hits. And we see J.J. McCarthy trying to run people over. Like it's something that these and Patrick Mahomes
That's
trying
the
to
best
run
idea.
people over. In week 2, Patrick, I thought we saved that for the playoffs.
Right.
That's part of the
Playoffs?
game, and it's I think they're exposing themselves to injury.
And it's not going anywhere. I mean, you look across the league to what Jeff was saying. We don't see the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Brady's. Joe Burrow was the closest thing to that, the way he maneuvered and walked around in the pocket, but he still was a guy that can get on the outside. So as I look at it, I feel like Jeff is like, as an offensive line, I hate it when those guys are running around. I was trying to keep my guy in line. It's not going anywhere. You have to find a way if you're one of these quarterbacks. I'm have to last for the entire season. Drake May in week 1 did not run at all.
Right.
Week 2, though, he got out and started making those quick decisions. You almost have to run nowadays to change up and also to be able to help your offensive lineman sometimes.
No, there's no doubt. And even when I went back and was with the Colts, the schemes that people run now, they will leave a free man and have the quarterback
account for him.
You account for him, and you get not just like blitz, replace him. It is no, you got to beat him with your athleticism. And the Joe Burrow situation, he holds the ball. Like you hold the ball, you're going to get hit. Like those guys get paid a ton of money to seek and destroy, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
It's a combination of things. They run an offense that sends 5 guys into there, so they don't max protect practically ever, which I know you can. Rex Ryan almost jumped out of his chair talking about it yesterday, and then he's holding the ball trying to make something happen. I don't want to play the sound here just in the interest of time, but Dan Orlovsky brought up a comparison that many people have made, which is Joe Burrow, and I hate to even say it out loud, but is he sort of trending towards becoming the next Andrew Luck, someone who retires really young because of a variety of injuries? And here are the numbers. Joe Burrow has been sacked more times than Andrew Luck was in his NFL career. Luck lasted 6 years in the NFL before retiring. Burrow is in his 6th year, just suffered his 3rd severe injury. He's out 3 months, so let's call it what it is. He's out for the year. The idea that he's coming back in late December seems extraordinarily unlikely, and it means a team season is over. So I asked the question, and I know you're going to yell at me. I know all you football players.
Now, again, that's the question: is Joe Burrow's career? It's definitely being shortchanged because they can't protect him, and they haven't protected him. And so you look at this from a standpoint and say, "Damn." But maybe, Dak Prescott, he was taking some punishment. He's drawing some key unnecessary roughness penalties. He seems like he's better able to hold up on this, but he's not running willy-nilly. And the reality is this, and you can, I know we've got fans in here or that claim to be Cowboy fans that'll say, Dak sucks, Dak's a bum. I'm getting emails from 49er fans that saying Dak deserved to lose that game. No. You scored more points than the other team. Tell me where there was a reason why the Cowboys deserved to lose that game. They fought, they clawed, they did everything. It wasn't luck. They just had more tenacity and were able to overcome. And you can look at it because, I'm sitting here looking at Pro Football Focus has the Cowboys as the worst protecting the quarterback rating. I don't know how that is, but be that as it may, they found a way to get this thing together. And I'm going to say that what the Cowboys have done, as opposed to last season when you only had CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb, was your number one target, and you didn't have a running game, you set your quarterback up for failure. Right now, if Javonte Williams continues to be the guy that he's been thus far, and you have a credible running attack where you can use play action, if Jake Ferguson can continue to get 5 to 7 catches a game as your tight end, and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb start really getting that chemistry together, you're going to be able to spread out that field and make it difficult for defenses to be able to light up with Dak Prescott, where you don't need that element. If Dak can continue to hit multiple receivers, and that's one of those statistics I wish I had in front of me, that when Dak Prescott hits 5 or more different targets in a game, it's kind of like when Emmitt Smith rushed for 100 yards. You win games. And that is the Cowboys' winning formula, and hopefully we continue to see more and more of that. All righty, good people. As always, I appreciate y'all, and I will see you soon. Peace.